Hello everyone, I'm Tame300. Welcome back to another episode on Stormworks. So today I want to do a little bit more testing on these modular engines. Last time we were having a few issues, weren't we, with it stalling and stuff, so let's get back into that. So I'm going to load in my little test rig, which is here. Now I've been doing a little bit of experimenting, trying to add more exhaust manifolds or more exhaust, and whatever I do, it always has the same effect. It doesn't change anything on this setup, so it's not that. I'll quickly show you what it's doing in case you can't remember. Let's spawn this in. Afterwards I'll show you what I've been doing with the boat as well. So we start up the engine. All this is basically a test setup for the boat. Obviously the engine isn't, it's going to be bigger than that. So it starts up, it revs up, it's revving quite high on starts up at the moment, which we can adjust. Give it some throttle. See, we're at 49 RPS already. 55, 56 RPS. And at 25%, we're at 59 RPS. We go any further, and we hit our limit, I think is 60 RPS. It seems to be 59 now. Maybe because I've got a catalytic converter on there. So it was hitting 60, but now it seems to be hitting 59. That's probably the cat. But this won't go above 0.59. See, this is as far as you can go. Any further, the engine stalls out. We can bring it back, but yeah, anywhere up there, it will stall. And that's the same if we're under load or when you engage the clutch. There you go. Just wants to die. Anywhere above 0.59. So the only real workaround I found for this is if we go into our microcontroller. I mean, I've tried loads of different things trying to get around this. Just double check the logic. So I did disconnect these as well, and that made no difference. I even tried putting a constant number to them. That made no difference. It still did the same. So we've got our AFR set to 2. I've tried changing this back and forth. You can't go too far, otherwise it won't even start. But yeah, any adjustments, and it still stalls after 0.59. So it's not that, as far as I know. Although when you look at the engine, quickly come up back to it. When you look at the engine while it's running, there we go. You're going to see this. You can see the air-fuel ratio. It does start to drop off a bit, the higher throttle. As soon as we go above, it drops right off. So it might be something we have to add into the microcontroller. I'm not sure on that one. But the workaround I found was we go to our up-down counter. So we can change a few things here. To start with, our idle was too high, so we could reduce that down. Let's do, this is reset value, so I'll do both. 0.075 I'm going to try, and I'm going to do the same there. And if we reduce, this is our max throttle basically one. If I reduce this to 0.59, we can't go above that and we can't stall the engine. So we update the microcontroller, spawn that in. Start it up. So throttle is a lot lower now. the RPS, sorry, on idle. So that's ticking over quite nicely for an idle. It sounds about right. Rev up. Again, we're still hitting our maximum RPS quite early. But yeah, we can't go above now, so we can't actually install it that way. Jump back into our microcontroller again. Now, increment, is that gonna... Let's play around with this a bit. So I've changed it from 0.01 to 0.1. Let's just see what effect that has. Testing, I've realised, is a big part of this game. The more you test, the more you'll learn. Okay, so that just revs really quickly. That's too quick. So that's just the amount it's going up by, as I thought it might be. So we could go, we was at 0.01 before, so if we go 0.075, it's about 25% less than it was. We'll try that. I mean, the 0.01 might actually be okay. Give it a bit of gas. Still hitting our max RPS early, but obviously we're not under load. So as soon as we go under any load, obviously we're going to run at much lower RPS. So at 0.35 of our throttle, which is obviously we can only get to 0.59, we're running at 35 RPS, 66% efficiency, AFR 13.7, stoichiometric 0.2, really sure what that. That's something to do with the chemical reaction going on inside the engine, but I don't, it's a term I'm not really familiar with at the moment. Okay, so this is roughly half of what we can get to. We can only get to 0.59. 31 RPS, which is about half of what the engine can handle anyway, 60 RPS. So actually that doesn't work too bad. I mean, we could try changing our gear ratios if we want to lower that down a bit more. I think that's not bad at all. So for now, I think I'll take that back to 0.01. That was okay. I'll leave those where they are, because that's the idle. That's the max, that's fine. This is how much we can adjust the air-fuel ratio. So we could play around with that a bit more, but it's not too bad as it is. That's something for fine-tuning later. So we'll save this, update it, and let's come out of that. Now, the boats. So let's go to something a bit more fun. So I tried putting one engine in, didn't I, last time? That really wasn't very good. So I've gone for two engines now. So we can only get a max speed of about 7 meters a second or something. So, okay, what have I not connected up down here? Let's have a quick look. Something to do with a gauge display. Okay, there's no primary display, so that's meant to be set from our throttle. So I'll go through this in a minute. I've actually missed something off here. So throttle from the fuel should be going to our primary display. Everything else is good. Everything's powered, I think. Okay, at some point I'm going to play around with the power setup, might put a breaker in or something. Right, so I'm pretty happy with all of that. The value of this boat is $19,741, so you can still get this straight away when you start the game. I'm trying to keep it under the 20k mark. Although, if I had too many extras in there, it does go over, so I might have to lose some as we go along. Right, engines in here. These are pretty, aren't they? We've got two, what I call V12 engines. They're flat, you could call them flat 12s or whatever as well. They're 12-cylinder engines. They look a bit like a V12, so that's what we're going to call them. There's obviously no V shape in this game, so this is about as close as you can get. And yeah, this is more for decoration, all the manifolds on top, but I'll explain what we've got. So we've got an air intake in white on each side, on each engine. We've got, this is the power output going through into one gearbox at the moment. We get loads of space to add as many gearboxes as we want, but obviously only one at the moment. We've got, this is our fuel intake, which comes from our fuel tanks here. Now the yellow ones are for the engines, so got two on each side. The green is for my refueling, the base purposes, just so I can top up when I'm out and about. At some point I'm going to make some custom tanks in here. This is just, I say temporary, it's sort of temporary but permanent at the moment. So I've changed it from seawater cooling to electric radiator with fans. You can just about see the fans there as well. We've got our exhaust set up over the back there, tucked away with a catalytic converter. We may have to add more manifolds onto this, I don't know yet for the exhaust, but we'll deal with that as we go along. And this is our microcontroller, which is the same one, just a bit bigger, just so we've got more space to expand it. So I do need to change the settings in here. So we're going to bring that down to 0.59, because otherwise it stalls. I'm going to go to 0.075 for the idle and the reset value. Clamp enabled, increment 0.01. Update the microcontroller. And yeah, we're good to go. I mean, we've got a fire extinguisher in here. I did have the welding equipment as well, underwater and above, but that took me over the 20k mark, so I've taken them off and just put blank spaces in for now. Obviously, when you can afford them, you can add them in. So yeah, we've got an exhaust each side for each engine. We've got a coolant for each engine, air and fuel for each engine. So we're pretty good. Shall we see how it drives? Just having a quick look around the outside. It's all pretty much as it was. I might have changed this floor a little bit, put some grey on the floor. So yeah, let's spawn this in. Actually, did the value just change? 19741. I should have said 19641, then maybe that was my eyes. Okay, 19741. I jump inside. Oh, we've got a funny colour paint block there, that's something I keep meaning to do. Right, so we spawn that back in. We take the helm. And yeah, so everything's controlled by this, well not everything's by the seat, but it can be. WS 1 and 2, that's our throttle and clutch. We can do the clutch on the lever, but we're not going to. So we've got key start still. Oh, this is revving really high. So we're going to need to adjust that. So let's quickly adjust that in the microcontroller. Obviously on our test rig it was a much smaller engine. These are big engines. So let's take this down to 0.05. Update. And we'll spawn it in. Did you see that? It said 19641 again. I can't check on my money because this is on our custom world. Anyhow. Let's see how it starts. Yeah, sounds better already. It's still revving quite high, not as bad as it was. So it's still a little bit high, but these are big engines. So, right, let's bring the clutch in slowly. I might have to move this throttle display because you can't really see it. Driving with a clutch. Just quickly engage the clutch. Okay, so the gear ratios aren't going to be great. We're doing 13.5, 14 meters a second. Running, well, it's twice as quick as it was. Okay, let's turn around and maybe we'll adjust the gear ratios a bit. Stability we've got to work on a bit. We had a quick look at it last time, but I won't go into that today. That's going to require a lot of testing, I think. It's not a bad speed, but I feel like we need a bit more speed out of these engines. So, what can we do with the gearboxes? Okay, so we've not even got a reverse gear at the moment. Let's set that. Let's take it up a couple of notches. Do the same on the other side. Save the boat. Spawn it in. It's actually slower. We can lower the clutch, but we're going to burn the clutch out, that's my only concern. as we fully engage the clutch, obviously it doesn't sound too healthy. Got more speed, but we haven't got a fully engaged clutch. Which I don't know if that matters in this game, but I know in real life it does. You need to fully engage that clutch, otherwise you're going to burn it out, cause a fire. Right, so gearing. Obviously we could add more gearboxes, or we could spin the gearbox around the other way. Let's do... Let's try them this way round. So that was the same ratios as what we used last time. Gonna need to power them. And really I should connect them up for reverse gear as well. Which was... Actually, oh, there we go. Right, let's spawn this in. Still can't fully engage it, but it does feel a bit quicker. We might be able to give it a bit more clutch. Okay, let's fully engage. No, we're good. Our temperatures and everything else was... The speed's still increasing. So this is actually working better for us if we only want a single gearbox setup. I wouldn't somewhat want more gearboxes, but as a starter though, I don't think it's too bad at all. Actually, it's still increasing speed. We're hitting 19 RPM, 19 ms. Feels quite quick. So I want to have a look at our speed sensor as well. Let's try directional. Let's save it with that gearbox set up as well. So I like to do all my testing in this other mode of Stormworks, not in the career mode, because I don't want to use up my fuel that we don't have a lot of. I'm going to hit the gas and the clutch full on straight away. There we go. That works well. So as me pressing W and 1 together, fully engaged straight away. Speed still looks like it's the same. So I think directional means if we're in reverse it might show a negative number. That's a good way to check that. So 2 and S together brings us to quite a quick stop. Let's hit reverse. And yeah, we're moving, aren't we? We should have no clutch engaged, so what's going on? Okay, we're stationary. Clutch disengaged. 2 is meant to be disengaged, isn't it? In reverse. Still, maybe there was a bit of residual energy still in there. Okay, so W and 1 should put us in reverse. Might be a bit quick, but reverse works well. What happens if I just put it into forward without backing off? We're going to flip over or something crazy, I don't know. Oh no, we're going to stall. That makes sense. Okay, so let's disengage everything. I suppose that's a good way of breaking your gearbox. Okay, W on 1 again on full throttle. We do it on tab so we can watch it. I like it. Okay, this works well for us. So I think we've got room to put another gearbox with a higher gear in there to go even quicker. Let me know what you think, guys. We get this going a bit quicker with another gearbox. 18.5 to 19 minutes a second. And have a break. That's really quick. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's working really well. Right. What do you think, guys? I think we're ready to do some more missions in this, aren't we? Propellers are still spinning. Residual energy. Like I said, when I put it in reverse, that must have been what happened last time. They should eventually come to a stop, shouldn't they? Someone didn't paint the block underneath the ladder. There's going to be little tweaks to make. Right, so I'm happy with this. I think we're ready for more gearboxes. Let's have a look. So this is obviously going to be our first gearbox. We're going to need a way of switching gear. I suppose like when we switch into reverse. So we're running 3 to 2, 1 to -1. Let's put this on mirror. Now it's probably going to take us over the 20k mark, so we might have to lose this equipment. So notice I'm putting them the opposite way around. That's because this one will give us more speed, hopefully. Although weren't we struggling before with RPS? I wonder whether they both should be that way round. Maybe this one is a 2 to 1. It's a high gear. We'd leave this with a reverse in it. I think that would be correct. Okay, logic. So we're going to need some power to them. This one needs the reverse gear, so now how do we switch into the next gear, or does it just kick itself up a gear automatically? It says toggles between the 2 gear ratio, so that's with a switch. I wonder if we're meant to have this the same like so, and then in the other gear it'll kick it up to the next gear. Okay, that makes sense, doesn't it? Right, so we just need a spare switch for that. Where are we? Logic. So we've got reverse gear there. What have we got here? Navigation lights, cabin lights, searchlights. I think these are spare, these two. So let's take the next button and use that to kick up our higher gear. Now it'd be quite nice to know when we've changed gear. We might hear it, I don't know. What about our lights? $20 and so what, we just put it underneath so. We're still in mirror mode, aren't we? We don't want one both sides. Logic, we want battery, which I've been taking from here for everything. That's the key switch. So when we toggle that button, what do we go off the gearbox itself? What do we go off? Let's take it to that button. Right. 19,851, so we're still in budget. Wow, those gearboxes are cheap. Okay. Time for a test run. Oh, here we go. So for some reason it doesn't like that. I wonder what changing this ratio right the way up to there does. I know the button won't work. It's actually made us slower. Ah, you know why? It's the direction of the gearbox. We need to rotate that gearbox. Because it's basically having the reverse effect if it's this way around. Okay, so ratio wise, It's going to be a bit difficult to work out because that was 3:2, but it's the other way around. So if we go to the same ratio, I'm not going to connect it up to the switch yet, but I will give it some power. Okay, it doesn't accelerate the same anymore. Probably have to ease it in a bit more. Move back the clutch off a bit. Yeah, we're back to like our original. I can't return it. Okay, so actually a lower ratio should give us more speed then rather than more torque, shouldn't it? I put the gearboxes back to the same direction again because they seem to work better. Right, where are we? Let's go inside. Testing's so important in this game, isn't it? That's our gearbox. Put them the same way round as before. So this one we've got 3:2. This one we're going to go. Let's go 1:1. Let's just see what happens. Bit of power. Spawn that in. We could go 3:2 and leave the second gear on 1:1. That might be good. That might be the way to do it. Yeah, because that's not any quicker, is it? Let's quickly change that ratio and switch it, of course. And right, logic. So if we go to that switch, it's going to give us our high gear. Right, rather than lose power or lose speed, we should actually gain it, hopefully. If I'm thinking about this logically. Try switching. It has increased a bit. Let's try turning around and going back and doing that. Okay, so 18, roughly 17 to 18. Any quicker, but the revs are lower, aren't they? So if anything, it'd be more fuel efficient and it's lower RPMs. pick up with lower revs. I like it. I think we'll keep it like that. We'll have to label that button so we know what it is. Yeah. And that's an improvement, guys. Thank you. Right, I think I'll end this one here. Let's get back to the ball. Let me know what you think of these improvements. Just go back to idle where it's a bit quieter. Yeah, so thank you all for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this, found it informative, and yeah, go do some testing on your boats like I am, because it's a good way of learning. Obviously watching videos does help as well, but go and put it into practice, see what you think, and yeah, leave me some comments below. Hit that like button if you've liked this video, and yeah, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.